Welcome to Career Insights. The Career Insights series features local industry professionals engaged in conversation with students and recent graduates about career planning and job opportunities in Polk County, Florida.
Good morning, everyone. We're so happy to have you with us today. I'm Sharon Kokonowski. I'm the Director of Education here at Polk State College. So if you ever need to reach out to me, please do. One thing we want to share with you is how you can get involved with education from birth to grade 6, because we'll actually be sharing early childhood information as well as our bachelor's early childhood and elementary education programs. So there's so much going on in education right now, and we need strong, positive, one-of-a-kind educators out in the field. So we're excited to be able to share information with you today. So we have several presenters today. From the early childhood side of things, we're going to have Mrs. Hazelwood and Mrs. Rubes working with that. And then from the Bachelor early childhood and elementary programs, we'll have Mrs. Hurt and Mrs. Price working on those presentations. So now we're going to move on to the bachelor degree level with early childhood and elementary education. And that is Mrs. Hurt and Mrs. Price are coordinators in the bachelor program.
I'm going to talk a little about our bachelor programs in the teacher education programs. Again, my name is Jennifer Price. I am with the Polk State College Teacher Education Program and the Bachelor programs. I'm one of the two program coordinators for the Bachelor programs. My colleague and another program coordinator is Mrs. Hurt. And I'm just going to share a little bit about our two bachelor degree programs that are offered here at Polk State. We have an elementary education, which is K through 6th grade, as well as an early childhood education program that's pre-K through 3rd grade. Now, there are similarities and differences in these two. Both programs are state-approved initial teacher prep programs. And with both of them, you will earn your ESOL endorsement for kindergarten through 12th, as well as your reading endorsement for kindergarten through 12th. There are required what we call FTCE exams. You've got to take some general knowledge, professional and subject area exams. And those exams, they differ depending on which program you choose to go into. So the pathways to teaching for early childhood, which again, the early childhood bachelor's program is for preschool through 3rd grade. You have two options here for early childhood. You can either get your AS in early childhood education and management, like Ms. Hazelwood talked about a few minutes ago, or you can get your AA degree. And depending on which one you choose, either one of those can lead into the Bachelor of Science in early childhood education. You will earn your Florida Professional Teaching Certificate for preschool through 3rd grade. And like we said before, also those reading and ESOL endorsements. So if you went full-time, it would be a total of 4 years. So 2 years for your AA or your AS degree, and then another 2 years to complete your bachelor's program. So early childhood, like we said, that's pre-K through 3rd grade. One of the best things, and we'll talk about this a little in elementary too, about our program is almost as soon as your very first day, maybe not your first day, but certainly in your first few weeks in the program, you will get hands-on classroom experience in our program, which is really a big deal. Some students think, oh man, I have to wait until my final internship in order to get into a classroom and start putting into practice what I'm learning. And that is absolutely not the case with our early childhood program. Same goes for our elementary. This one's a little different. You would need to have your Associate of Arts degree, which you can accomplish if you go full-time within 2 years. And then that would lead into the Bachelor of Science in elementary education. You would get that Florida Professional teaching certificate for kindergarten through 6th grade. So that would enable you to teach any of those grades from kindergarten up through 6th. And you'd also earn your reading and your ESOL endorsements, and go ask any one of your teachers. That's a really big deal. So in the elementary, just as in the early childhood, you did get your state certification and that hands-on classroom experience. We have field studies. We have 3 different field studies semesters where you spend up to 10 weeks, a full day every week in the classroom, where you are taking what you're learning in your classroom here at Polk State and applying that to the classroom that you are working in and your host teacher. And you get honest feedback back and forth between your host teacher as well as your professors. They'll come in and observe you so you can get ready for that, and learn as much as you need to. Our goal in this program, in either of the 2 bachelor programs, are that when you graduate from Polk State with your bachelor's degree, that you are ready to walk into a classroom and you have the confidence with everything that you have learned and all of the support from your professors here to walk right into a classroom and make it your own and teach these kids as if you've been doing it for years. So back to the program highlights. When you graduate, there will be nothing else that you have to do in order to get your requirements to teach in the state of Florida. You will get support from us, from your professors, from Mrs. Kokanowski, from admission all the way through graduation. We are here for you. That is one of the great things about our program, is our small class sizes. Most of our students, if you ask them why they chose Polk State, they will tell you it's because it's very much a family feel, the small class sizes, and that their professors actually know their names. Their professors know who they are. If they don't show up for class, they call and check on them, or they send them an email and say, hey, we missed you, which is a lot different than some of the larger colleges and universities out there. Our professors truly are connected to your learning and to your growth in this program. Okay, so a little about return on investment. How much can you earn every year? So starting teachers are about $41,000. Kindergarten and elementary teachers around $55,000. And this information was from the Polk County Public Schools Collective Bargaining Agreement and the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. So right off the bat, you will be earning a paycheck as soon as you graduate and get into a classroom. One of the great things about it is the tuition and fees for the bachelor's program in elementary education is around $7,500. Now that's not including your AA, that's for your last 2 years for your bachelor. But the cost for a bachelor's in elementary at competing institutions, some of the larger colleges and institutions, can be anywhere from $32,000 to $59,000. So not only are we close, not only are we in your backyard and right here in Polk County, but you can also save a tremendous amount of money without having to go into debt up to your eyeballs in order to earn your teaching certification. We do have scholarship opportunities. There is a Florida Fund for minority teachers. There's also a greenhouse initiative. You know, anyone that is perhaps a para or a non-instructional employee of Polk County Public Schools, they have a tuition reimbursement program called the Greenhouse Initiative. And then through the Polk Education Foundation, there are multiple scholarships that are geared right towards teaching. So why Polk State? We know that there's a lot of competition out there for schools that want to help you earn your bachelor's degree in either K through 3rd or K through 6th. But we believe that the affordability and the accessibility of Polk State is what is one of the main things that draws students to us. As you know, Polk County is growing tremendously. I realize that every time I'm stuck in traffic, but we're growing tremendously and really becoming a center where students are coming to Polk State in order to join these education programs. We have such a commitment to student success. Like I said before, our professors, our director, your program coordinators know your name, they know who you are, and we truly do care about your success in our program. We also have excellent partnerships with Polk County schools. So your internship would be in a Polk County school, and many of the students that graduate from our program walk right into a job with Polk County Schools and don't have to even go to other districts to look for jobs. Polk County Schools is such a wonderful partner for us. And so you not only get hands-on training in the field studies that we have, as well as the internships, but also you can partner with them after you graduate. And then last, certainly not least, is we're changing lives for future generations. We all know that education is crucial to changing lives and to empowering future generations. And so Polk State certainly gives you the ability and the training that you need so that you can do that for your classroom when you're finished. Again, my name is Mrs. Price. This is Mrs. Hurt. We are the program coordinators. Mrs. Hurt would be your contact. If you're interested in information about the Bachelor's in Early Childhood, please feel free to jot down her email address, and I can guide you towards the Bachelor's in Elementary program as well. I covered a lot of information really, really quickly, but if there are any questions, we can save them for the end. But we just really, really appreciate the opportunity to share with you guys about the 2 Bachelor programs that are offered here through Polk State. We would love to see your faces come through here. So if you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to reach out.
Thank you, Mrs. Price. I appreciate that. And thank you, Mrs. Hurt. She is on the call, but she was unable to join visually. So thank you to those 2 coordinators who work with you from day one coming into the program, and they help guide you through.
So today we're going to hear from 2 individuals who have actually been through the Polk program, they are passionate about early childhood and education. And the first person we're going to hear from is Cherry McClellan. She is the director and has been a phenomenal director for quite a few years at First Steps. And so Cherry, we'd love to hear from you a little bit about your career path and why you chose early childhood.
Good morning. I'm Cherry McClellan. I'm the director of First Steps at First United Methodist. And I'm going to try to convince you why I think this would be an excellent choice. Many years ago, I was a mom and I wanted to go back to school. I had worked part-time in early childhood and I knew I was called to be a teacher. And I believe wholeheartedly, we know we're nurturers. If you enjoy children, if you love to hear them laugh and play, and you get excited when they learn something, you know in your heart you're called to be a teacher. We moved here from Pennsylvania. I had started going to school at Penn State University, and my boss at Public Child Development Center told me I needed to go back to school at Polk State College. Now, I had gone to university, Penn State, and I wasn't sure. And the moment I went, I was a full-time evening student. I fell in love. I was challenged and I learned. And I can say this in all honesty, I became a very good early childhood teacher. I worked in Polk County Schools, and it was before VPK, the early intervention. And many times my classroom was used as a model, and teachers would come and they would sit and they would serve. But more than anything, my children were learning and they were having fun. And I think one of the greatest skills I had learned while I was doing all those fun, engaging classes. And I can tell you in all honesty, you don't feel like I've got 3 hours here tonight. How will I ever get through it? Because it goes quickly. And you're learning and you're thinking, wow, I didn't know that I knew about this theorist. I didn't understand brain development. And when you're done, you know why you're taking those red eyedroppers and you're putting them in the shaving cream. And you're learning about intrinsic motivation. And you're learning about hands-on. And you're having fun. And you become a good teacher. So for several years, I did EI pre-K. And then I went to school in the evening. I went to Florida Southern and did my bachelor's degree. And I even taught at their lab school for a year. And then I went and I taught kindergarten, which is the love of my life. And my children had very high scores, One year, my children at a Title I school had the highest scores in the county. And my principal called me in. And we had some really tough little kids. And she said, Cherry, why are your scores so high? Why are your children learning so much? And I said, because I was first a preschool teacher. You know, it's important to know about the theorists. It's important to know how to teach. But more importantly, if you don't have good classroom management skills, you're not going to be successful. And one thing I learned in my AS in early childhood is classroom management. I knew how to keep children engaged, how to make learning purposeful. And they were playing, and they did not realize that they were working all day long. And I was able to do that in kindergarten and first grade and second grade and fifth grade. And even the half a year that I spent in middle school, my kids had fun because they were engaged in their learning. And that all goes back to my early childhood learning. I learned how to make learning fun. I was teacher of the year when I was in elementary school. I served on the board of the Early Learning Coalition. I was an accreditation specialist for UMAP, United Methodist Association of Preschools. And I take that all back to the time I spent in early childhood. My passion was awakened. But not only do you have to be passionate, but you need those skills, because it's good to know what you love, but you need the training. And I feel wholeheartedly that I got that training at Polk State College. I've been an adjunct professor there. And I think one of the greatest compliment I have is when students come up to me and they say, I had so much fun. I learned so much in your class. And I think that's what all teachers look back and down the road as their legacy is, did my students learn, but did they enjoy learning from me? So I can say wholeheartedly that my time spent at Polk State as a student and as a teacher, that I felt that my life was enriched. And I hope that if you have that in your heart, that you know you're a nurturer, that you consider this as a career. I just want to say to you, please come by, stop by the school. I can give you a video tour. We're still doing COVID procedures, but I'm always hiring. Many of my girls work for me and then go to school in the evening. So you can spread it out. And that's what's a good thing too, is you can do it step by step. And you might just do an associate degree, but you might end up doing like I did and get your master's, and then you can teach others how to teach as little ones. So thank you for your time. Please feel free to reach out to me, and good luck to you as you choose your path.
Thank you so much, Cherry. Gosh, you have so much wisdom and so much passion. And thank you so much for sharing that. And especially encouraging our high school students also to get involved and to come and work at child care centers. We offer a lot of our, at least my program at the high school level, so that they can go and work in child care centers. So from a young age. So thank you so much, Cherry. We appreciate your time and spending your morning with us.